Ooh, what's this? Cartoon pictures? That looks like lots of fun, so let's make some more. Hello everyone, my name is Comic Maker and welcome back to my channel. Many years ago, before I made videos, I would just make random art for funsies, probably like a lot of you guys. But at the time, I saw a lot of artists online drawing over Polaroid pictures, and being the cartoon fan that I am, I thought it would be super fun to create some of my own, but with characters that I love. So I started making a list of characters and situations that would be cute or funny to have in photos. And I decided that it would be cool to tell like a mini story or show character relationships with them, and then made these 8 Polaroids. Before I realized it, I had made all Cartoon Network characters from shows that I loved in the past and in the present, such as Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, and Steven Universe. Then I thought it would be cool to add the date in the corner in which the shows aired. It was a really fun series and I was excited to make more. But, well, it's been 5 years since then. And having made videos for the past year and a half now, I'm always looking for exciting and fun ideas for videos, and came across my old Polaroids recently and I was like, oh my god, I want to do more of those. So I asked you all on Instagram and Twitter after I posted the original ones that I did, what cartoons you would want to see as Polaroids. I had some amazing suggestions that I've held on to for future Polaroids. In fact, the next time I do this, my patrons will vote and decide my next characters to draw. But for this video, we will do 2 more sets to add to the collection. I decided to keep with the Cartoon Network theme series for this and draw characters from Adventure Time and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. The way that these sets work are with just a simple view of the character or characters, and then there is either a situation that happens that leads to the second photo or an interaction with more characters. So for the originals, little Susie is taking a selfie and then we can see Johnny Bravo in the background. Then he takes the camera from her in the second one. With the Powerpuiff Girls, they take a photo together and then in the second one the professor pops in. Steven takes a selfie and the gems come in curiously into the view for the second one. Then finally, Dee Dee is messing with stuff in Dexter's lab. Dexter runs to her angrily and the next scene is with the lab destroyed and them both looking scratched up. This one is actually honestly my favorite out of all the ones I've done, but anyway. For the next 2, I wanted to keep the series going by having Blue taking a selfie, looking bored and maybe a little sad, kind of similar to the way that he does in the opening song for Foster's Home, until Max shows up, which really lifts his spirits in the second photo. For the Adventure Time one, I was originally going to have just Finn and Jake, but there are so many characters that I adore in Adventure Time that I really wanted to include more. So I had Finn holding the camera, trying to get everyone in view, but kind of struggling. And Jake looks over at Finn and kind of realizes what's going on. So in the second photo, Jake grabs the camera and stretches his arms out to get everyone in, including little Bimo, who was out of frame the whole time, but now gets to fit inside the photo with everybody else. When I first made these years ago, they were with a mix of watercolors and Copic Markers, so I tried to follow with what I did in the past. But it's been so long since I even looked at these that I kind of forgot. But I know I used a purple colored pencil for the line art, and I decided to do all 4 pictures at the same time so that I could alternate and let parts dry while I worked on others, and that seemed to work out pretty well. As far as how these 2 turned out, I'm not so sure. I don't know if it was how light I made the colors at first or how the texture for the colored pencil looked. It didn't really read as well for the new Polaroids as they did in the old ones, but the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends and Adventure Time pictures didn't quite have the same feel as the first batch of cartoon characters that I made. In fact, Blue and Mac are probably my least favorite out of the bunch, and I'm not sure why, because when I initially drew the sketch, the thumbnails I really liked for that one, but I don't hate them or anything, I just don't think that they're as strong in the series as the others. I think what it came down to is actually the type of paper that changed the feel. In the original, I tore down some Arches watercolor paper, but for the new batch, I just tore up some watercolor paper that I had lying around, so I'm not entirely sure of the brand, but I think that that factored into like the texture of the colored pencils and stuff like that. It's not so bad in the end, especially when you look at all the Polaroids together, so. If you are curious on the sizes for these Polaroids and would like to make your own, I tore my paper down to 3.5 by 4 1/4. Then for the little box in the inside where the photo goes, the box is 1/4 in on the sides and the top, and then there's 1 inch length on the bottom so that it has a weighted bottom just like a Polaroid would. But here's a little reference image for those who need to see it visually like I do. If you do end up making your own Polaroids, you don't need to use watercolors to make them. They can be made with any kind of medium, colored pencils, markers, paint, that's totally up to you. These are just fun little images that can be made any way you want them to be. I would also love to see you guys make your own cartoons you love, or even your own OCs inside a Polaroid. If you do make them, please use the hashtag DWSCM, meaning drawing with S Comic Maker, or at me on any of my social media. I would, of course, love to see anything that you guys create. Now that all of these are done, what cartoons would you like to see next? I'll be doing more Cartoon Network characters, and then after I finish those, I'll start a new series with other characters because I would love to draw Gravity Falls characters or Star vs. the Forces of Evil characters. So if you have any other suggestions, I would love to hear them in the comments. Thank you so much to all of you and all of my patrons who make videos like this possible. If you would like to help support my channel, my Patreon links as well as all my other social media are always in the description. But as Comic Maker, I have no monies, but I still want to help you. Well, sharing, watching, and following my videos are always greatly appreciated and always support me, so thank you all so much for that. I hope you all enjoyed the character Polaroids that I made today. They were super fun, and I cannot wait to make more. I want to get like a little string up in my room and like clip them all together, because it would be so cool to see them all together in a big long line or something. But anyway, I appreciate you all stopping by, and I hope that we can draw together again soon. Bye guys.